The man with the withered hand. On a Sabbath, Jesus spoke in the synagogue of Capernaum about the joys of a righteous life. When Jesus had finished his preaching, he was surrounded by a large group of people seeking healing, the maimed, the lame, and the sick. There were also Pharisees in the synagogue who were closely watching Jesus, looking for something to use against him. While Jesus was talking to the sick people, the leader of the spying Pharisees urged a man with a withered hand to approach Jesus and ask if it would be lawful to be healed on the Sabbath day. When Jesus saw the man and heard his words, he quickly realized the question came from the Pharisees. Jesus looked at the invalid man and said, "Come forward, and I will ask you something. If you had a sheep that fell into a pit on the Sabbath day, would you not reach down, grab it, and pull it out? Is it lawful to do such a thing on the Sabbath day?" And the man answered, "Yes, Master, it would be lawful to do such a good deed on the Sabbath day." Thereupon Jesus addressed the onlookers, "I know why you have sent this man to me. You seek a reason to accuse me, now trying to tempt me to perform an act of mercy on the Sabbath day." In silence, you all agreed that it would be lawful to pull the unfortunate sheep out of the pit, even on the Sabbath, and I call you as witnesses that it is lawful to show kindness on the Sabbath day. Not only towards animals but also towards people. How much more valuable is a man than a sheep? I declare to you that it is lawful to do good to people on the Sabbath day. While they all stood silently before him, Jesus said, turning to the man with the withered hand, "Stand here beside me so that all can see you. Because it is my Father's will to do good even on a Sabbath day, I ask you, if you have the faith to be healed, stretch out your hand." And as the man stretched out his withered hand, it healed as they watched. Some of those present, who noticed the devious game the Pharisees were trying to play, became angry and after a brief exchange of words, wanted to go after the Pharisees. But Jesus commanded them to keep calm with the words, "I have just told you that it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath, to save lives, but I have not commanded you to cause injury and give in to the desire to kill." The humiliated Pharisees went away, and although it was the Sabbath, they hurried to Tiberias and conferred with Herod, trying with all their might to turn him against Jesus. But Herod refused to take action against Jesus and advised them to bring their complaints before the Sanhedrin in Jerusalem. This was the first time Jesus performed a miracle in response to the challenge of his enemies. And the Master performed this so-called miracle not as a demonstration of his healing power but as an effective protest against the fact that Sabbath rest had become a true slavery of meaningless restrictions by religious dogmas. This man resumed his work as a stonemason and lived a life of gratitude and righteousness.